welcome in. It is Sunday night. We've changed a little some things around here. Got a high-powered producer back there that you might hear or see from tonight, which will be fun. My boy Ditko back there handling the ones and twos. But with his schedule and my schedule changing a little bit, NBR has now moved to Sunday night. Okay, so I know those are things, I've trained you guys a little bit to be here Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Well, now we've changed it up just a little bit, and we're going Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Sunday will typically be NBR night. Monday will be one of our film sessions, and Wednesday will be a film session as well. Of course, Monday and Wednesday, typically 90% of the time, are going to be Patreon only. And if you're not already signed up for the Patreon, you're missing out. I'm going to tell you that right now. Patreon.com/Brooks Austin. So feel free to do that. Of course, NBR tonight, what I'll tell you is, I've always got a good one. And honestly, I always love this show. I love this format, doing this kind of open forum, open talk, open rant kind of discussion forum has been my go-to. It's where I got my start in video. It's where I got my start really in media in general. It's hosting some kind of semi-podcast / simulcast like this. So I really, really enjoy it. But when I get to talk about the NCAA and really hammer in on these guys, when I feel that they're doing something wrong, it's what I feel is one of my best strengths and what ends up being some of our best shows here on the YouTube channel. And of course, we are live on Twitch tonight as well. So we'll be there afterwards playing a little bit of NCAA. We've been there the last couple of nights playing NCAA, had a great time. So tonight's show, we're going to talk about the over-offering pandemic that we've got in college football recruiting. I know pandemic's a hot and button word, but that's what we got in college football. And I'm going to lay out some numbers for you and kind of tell you what I think should happen with college football in terms of how offers should be given out, how they should go about their business with that. And of course, I'm not going to give you, but my boy Ditko is going to give you a college football NCAA video game update. Ditko's one of the smartest people I know in terms of video games, okay? He can pretty much damn near code one himself. So what we find out tonight about the NCAA football game will be a behind the scenes kind of look at what's going to happen with one of the most highly anticipated video games in my lifetime and in recent memory. So we'll also we'll close the show with my problems that I've got with what the NCAA is doing in terms of limiting, well, not even limiting, but completely banning in-person visits and in-person recruiting trips and kids being able to take trips to these campuses that they may or may not end up playing at and living at for 4 or 5 years in their college career. So I think it's pretty bit filled with hypocrisy. And of course, we will be taking phone calls from the OGs tonight as well. So you guys feel free to get in on that. I sent in the numbers over there on the patreon.com. We've got 2 numbers tonight. So hopefully we can take twice as many phone calls. So get in on those early, I promise you. That phone line does line up and fill up. So if you feel like you've got something you want to talk about, if you want to call in, get in on that those phone lines early and often. And Ditko, my boy back there, will put you on hold and we'll get you in and fit you in when I'm ready to hear your rants in between my rants. All right, so we're going to start with this over-recruiting and over-offering pandemic that we've got in college football. To me, it is one of the major issues with the way the recruiting business and the way the recruiting industry works, okay? This whole idea of committable offers, to me, is trash, okay? And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that throughout the argument. Let's just give you some raw data, some raw numbers, okay? The 2021 class just rounded out, right? Just finished up for college football. Let's give you some of the SEC numbers in terms of total offers that these jokers have handed out, all right? Alabama, the cream of the crop, right? 219 offers in the 2021 class. Arkansas, 296. Auburn, 249. 252 down there at Florida. Georgia coming in right in the middle of the pack with 248. Kentucky offered 389 kids in the 2021 class. LSU, 286. Mississippi State, 272. Missouri, 220. The low end of the totem pole right there around Alabama and the SEC, which was kind of a surprise to me, but I think a lot of that had to do with Eli Drinkowitz, first year up there at Missouri. We'll probably see that number increase this year, I would imagine. Ole Miss, 394 offers in the 2021 class. South Carolina, 273. Texas A&M, 233. Vanderbilt, 283. And the king of all kings in terms of over-recruiting, the main hot-button issue in the SEC for me, Tennessee offered 479 high school football players in the class of 2021. Think about that. 479. You can only sign anywhere from 25 to 28 kids, depending on how many roster spots you have available, okay? 25 to about 28 kids per recruiting class. Why in the hell do you need to be offering 479 kids? Why? Make it make sense. Please, viewer, make it make sense. Please, Jeremy Pruitt, now that you're out, please make it make sense. Why do you need to offer 479 kids? It's garbage, okay? It is absolute garbage. It is throwing dynamite into the local pond, into the local lake, and hoping a few dead fish pop up. That's exactly what it is. And here's my solution, okay? I think it needs to be regulated. And I'm not big into over-regulating, systems and over-regulating stuff like that. It's not me, okay? But the fact of the matter is, something needs to happen because kids are getting offers and they think they're real offers, but in reality, they are not. They're not committable offers. Does so-and-so have the green light? Is coach going to allow him to commit to the school? It's horse manure. It's absolute horse manure. If I offered you a job and said, Ditko, I want you to be my producer. Will you be my producer? He should be able to commit to that offer right there on the spot, should he not? But in this world, in college football, it's like, hey, Ditko, you want to be my producer? You want to come work for me, baby? That's cool. Hold off. I'll let you know when I need you. It's horse manure. It's absolute horse crap. And here's how you regulate it, okay? Pure, plain, simple. 150 max offers per class. That's all you get. You get to hand out 150 scholarship offers per class because I understand Tennessee, okay? You're not going to get every quarterback you ever offer. I understand that. You're going to miss on people, but you want to be in on the boat. But what it means is if you're the chubby, ugly kid like I was in high school, guess who I wasn't chasing? I wasn't chasing the hottest girl in town, okay? No, I knew my range. You should know your range. It's business. You should know who you could possibly land. 150 offers per class, no more, none, period. 150, that's all you get. And you can't officially offer a player in my new world until the spring of their sophomore season. Why? Because I'm sick and freaking tired of seeing 8th graders who don't have hair under their daggum armpits get offers from Georgia, get offers from Alabama, when who knows what in the hell they're going to actually turn out to be when they're 18 years old and ready to go off to college. Stop it. Stop it. You don't need to get in early. You don't need to get in early. Not that early. 8th grade, come on. They don't even know who they are yet. They don't know what they are. They don't even know if they want to play football in college yet. They think they do. They might find out something a little bit different by the time they're a sophomore in high school. Okay? So sophomore spring, as soon as that happens, you get to offer. Why sophomore spring? Because junior fall, right? September of your junior year, coaches can now contact you. Okay? Make it make sense. Spring, you get to offer heading into your junior year. By the time September rolls around, you know as a prospect who you actually need to talk to and who you need to answer the phone from. Okay? 150 offers, can't offer until the spring of your sophomore year. Okay? How about this one? If you pull an offer, because you should be able to now, I'm limiting the amount of offers you can actually give out. If you pull an offer, it ought to be public. It ought to be public. Dicko, I'm offering you the job. Next week, I'm not. I'm going to tell everybody Dicko no longer has the job. It's no longer his opportunity. I'm opening the door to other people, okay? But it has to be public. How do you make it public? I don't know. We'll figure that out down the road, okay? And I know what you're thinking. Man, that sounds awfully cruel, Brooks. Pulling offers? Offers get pulled all the time. Stop being naive, okay? Offers get pulled all the time. And offers get handed out nowadays that aren't even committable. They mean nothing. Offers mean absolutely nothing right now. They just hand them out willy-nilly. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? And then come February, whether or not you get an LOI means whether or not that offer is real. Okay? So let's make offers real again. Last one, there's really only 2 schools in college football right now that are doing this the right way, I would imagine. Or I say, not necessarily the right way, but the way it should be done. There are 2 schools in college football, major Power 5 football, where if they offer you, it actually means something. It means something. And those 2 schools, Stanford and Clemson. Stanford last year offered 68 high school kids. That's it. Now, most of that has to do with academic strenuency, right? They have a really, really tough school to get into, and it's really, really hard to stay into that school. But as for Clemson, that's just how they run their business, man. An offer from Clemson means you can commit on that spot. You can commit right then, right there. Every offer from the University of Clemson or Clemson University, whatever they are, every offer from Dabo Swinney is a committable offer. Say what you want about Dabo, but he does that business correct, I believe. He does that 100% right. That's the way it should be done. If I offer you a chance to come play for me, you should be able to take me up on that offer right then and there. Not when they decide whether or not you have the green light or whether it's a committable offer. Think about that term, guys. Think about that term, committable offer. We throw it around like it's nothing. We talk about scholarship offers like they're nothing, guys, because they mean nothing right now. They mean absolutely nothing. And what it'll also do is, and now that I've been in the recruiting industry, I know it happens, it'll limit guys out here faking offers. It happens all the time. I run into high school recruits that have, offers from Ohio State, and you talk to Ohio State, and they're like, I don't even know who that kid is. I have no idea who that is. Okay, so fake offers aren't here anymore because they're legitimized. You have to make these things legit nowadays. You have to make them mean something again. Make offers great again. How about that? Put it on the slogan for tonight's show. And again, we are taking phone calls at any point tonight if you want to hop in. We did some articles today, and I'll filibuster in case somebody wants to call in. We'll wait on it. But if not, we'll roll through. But I'll filibuster in the meantime. I did an article today on dogsdaily.com. Check it out. We do some writing. I'm not a strictly video guy. I know I'm the film guy. I know I'm the video guy. I know I'm the guy that likes to hear myself talk a lot. But I do write a little bit. And today we wrote an article about biggest position battles this spring. Questions that need to be answered this spring. And one of them is linebacker. The other one's obviously corner at Georgia. But the most important to me for the future of Georgia in terms of, drama is the backup quarterback spot. Who's going to win it in spring? And I don't think we're going to get an answer. I'll tell you this right now. Kirby's going to do Kirby. Okay, Kirby's going to show up in his post-practice press conference, and he's going to say, and I quote, well, I thought Carson and Brock played really, really well today. I thought they practiced great. And then, you'll get to see the spring game. They'll take even reps, and you'll be able to make your own decision about who you thought played better. But Kirby, even after the spring game, I guarantee you, he'll say, well, I thought Carson and Brock both did some really good things today. That's exactly what he'll say. He'll do the Kirby talk. And that's good. He's a coach. He should. He should do the coach talk and do the coach speak. But to me, who plays the best in spring and who wins that job in terms of the backup position role, and we really won't know until the first blowout, until Georgia's up, 35 points in the second half against FCS Southeast. My brain's on NCAA 14. When they play FCS Southeast and it will be important because, I don't see Brock. I don't portray Brock leaving that early. But if Carson Beck gets passed up already for a backup position role, guys, history says that guy's out of there. I don't know Carson personally. I've spoken to people close to around him, and there's no thoughts of transferring right now. But things might change, and I'm just saying history says things might change. So we'll have to see. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I think that's a very important one to watch. I do want to see who wins out between Quay Walker and Channing Tindall. Quay obviously has the leg up based off what he did last year. He was the third linebacker in rotation, and now with Monty out, one would presume that he would jump up a position on that depth chart and go into that number 2 role. We will just have to wait and see. All right, my boy Ditko. We have an NCAA 14 game coming out, okay? And I want to know all your thoughts and opinions. I know you think the NCAA is dog water, but just an overview. Give me where we're at in terms of when do we think it might be coming to the market, my man?
Yeah, I mean, EA, so the game's going to be made by EA again. So EA Sports, they make the Madden games, NHL, whatever. EA is really a tricky company to figure out because they'll do stuff like this where they'll announce a game and then I've seen games, they launched a game, I want to say, it's Anthem 2 years, it's probably about 2 years ago, called Anthem. And Anthem was a game that really, sucked, to be quite honest. It was a game that was hyped up. It worked. They worked on it for like 6 years. And, they're saying it's going to be the next Halo and all of this kind of stuff. And the game comes out and just completely falls on its face. And then EA also did this with, what was the game? I think it was it was Star Wars Battlefront 2, where Star Wars Battlefront 1, The initial one was fun, but it didn't have a single player campaign, and it was flooded with, pay to win content and all that kind of stuff. You're probably familiar with that in the Madden games where you pay for players. And people don't like that, obviously. So, they ended up fixing the game down the road, but, too little, too late, didn't sell well, all that kind of stuff. So my main concern is that they're going to drag this out for 4 or 5 years, especially given, you gave my opinions on the NCAA. I'm not going to get into that tonight, maybe on another show. But if the NCAA really does go and drag out this NLI thing, it could be a problem. It could be a pretty big problem.
So we're thinking, at earliest, like 2022, honestly, is what we're kind of foreseeing. What's it going to play like? That's the other question I hear all the time. Is it going to be like Madden? Is it going to be formatted? And is the play going to be more like NCAA 14, the last NCAA game we had? What do you think? What do you project it's ultimately going to play like? Or is it just too early to even tell, Dicko?
To be honest, it's a little early to tell.
Yeah.
It really is. The issue we have is the fact that these consoles, the PS5, the Xbox One X, whatever Nintendo comes out with, because they're going to put it on whatever Nintendo comes out with, and even PCs, they just launched a new set of hardware for PCs. It's really hard to say, what engine they're going to use. I would imagine they'll probably use Unreal Engine by Epic Games. That makes Call of Duty, all your major title games are made by that. But I do think, one feature, I think we actually talked about this, was they're going to add in the transfer portal. That's definitely going to be a thing. So that'll probably be a part of your dynasty recruiting, whatever. But I also think they're going to make an update to the stadiums. So, for example, the red LEDs at Sanford Stadium, Alabama, Penn State's whiteout. I do think the stadiums, because of the level of technology they have now to work with, I don't really think they had. It's a technology called ray tracing. It first came out on PCs a few years back. They've got it now, but it's like light reflecting off of surfaces. The computers weren't able to process that before, but now you have these neon lights in the stadium, and you can see it reflecting off the goalposts or that kind of stuff. So it's just going to have that much more of a level of detail that I feel like is really going to make the stadium environments themselves a lot better.
And they haven't even really started.
I am definitely going to be dog water at that game.
So you're dog water at NCAA, you're dog water at shooters. What are you good at?
MOBAs. Believe it or not.
I don't even know what MOBAs are.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Enough from you, Dicko. I appreciate your contributions for tonight. Man, the kid's a whiz kid back there, and he's not even a kid. Mute your mic for me there, whiz kid. He's not a kid. He's a grown man, as you can see. And what you can't tell based off camera, we have a caller. Well, because you hung up on him. I saw you do it. Caller, call back in. I think it was a 706 number. Whoever it was, call back in. We'll take your phone call. But Dicko, man, all the changes you've seen around this show, the Twitch platform, 2 camera setups going on in here, audio, everything that's rolling around, going good around here. It's a direct reflection of that big guy back there, and he is big. He's 6'7". So don't catch him on the low block. All right, don't catch him on that low block. He gonna get you. And he's a little bit of a hooper, and he's very, very knowledgeable when it comes to technology. Actually built a PC for us, which was pretty nice of him. But before we get into our problems with the recruiting dead period, let's kind of filibuster a little bit more and hope that phone caller gets back in. I apologize for that, man. You call in the first time my boy Dicko got some airtime, and, it's not his fault. There's our caller right there. I'll take it. All right, 706, what do you got for me, brother? Oh, sorry. I took it on my watch. Call him back. That's on me. What? 7732. Jesus Christ. First time you call in is first time Dicko's on air, and I can just imagine he's over there. And first time, have you ever even done anything like that, Dicko? No. We're catching the audio of me calling back. That's okay.
Hey man, thank you. I appreciate the call.
My bad, brother. What's up?
Listen, I wanted to ask you about what you thought about how Kirby does coach speak. Is that cool to you, or is he just too much with it? And I'll just hear what you had to say.
So I'll be honest. If I was a college football coach, I would be the same exact way. And it comes from the Saban theory. Saban gets it from Belichick. All these guys are the same exact way. And it's not really their fault. And I work in the media, so I can say this. He doesn't want to give the media anything because the media goes and drives narratives, right? He doesn't want to give massive amounts of player availability because, kids slip up and they say something. Prime example, JT Daniels comes out after his debut against Mississippi State and says, oh, well, I was ready to play after Arkansas. It was a coaching decision. Well, what was the next 12,000 articles written by every single Georgia outlet, including mine? Okay, so I'm being a little bit hypocritical here, but I'm being honest. Every single outlet, including mine, talked about how JT Daniels came out and said he was ready. It was a coaching decision. Those are the kind of things he's trying to avoid. And just like he does with coach speak, he's not trying to give you any narratives. He's not trying to give you any storylines. He just wants to talk football. And I'm okay with it. I'm 100% okay with it because all he cares about is winning football games, and him coming out and doing rah-rah post-game press conferences does nothing for him in terms of wins and loss categories. That is the cold, harsh reality of the fact. I'm cool with the coach speak, and I'm here for the coach speak, honestly. And like I said, if I were a college football coach, if somebody hired me to come be their college football coach tomorrow, you would get the same exact crap from me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I gotcha. As a fan, I just would love to hear more, but that's why I asked you the question,
What would you like to hear? I'm curious. Like, when you say you want to hear more, what do you mean?
Yeah, there are other coaches who will be more forthcoming, and they just will give you, more and not just, just this crap. This, I can't tell you anything.
Yeah. I mean, what's his number one go-to? We did what we thought would give us the best chance to win. That's like Kirby's button. Like his number one on the big board in terms of Jeopardy answers. Just trying to do everything that we thought we could do to win. I guess he could be more like Dan Mullen. Have you ever watched? Or Jimbo Fisher's the perfect example.
We don't want that.
No, we don't. But have you ever watched the Jimbo Fisher press conference? Because those things are electric. That guy's just he's a natural talker. So I get you on that front. Kirby can do that though. That's why he's such a great recruiter. So I'm with you. It doesn't really make a lot of sense that he's so closed off to the media, but he's been born and bred to despise the media. It's just what he is, and it's okay. Most coaches are like that. They think all media members are a bunch of goofball nerds that don't know anything about football, and for the most part, they're almost always right, okay? The media does things that coaches don't like. I understand it. It's not because Kirby doesn't want to give the fans a lightning press conference. He just doesn't want to give the media a lightning press conference. It's the same reason why the media only gets literally like photos at practice. Have you seen what Florida's doing for their spring practice this year? They're sending out literally like 10 to 20 minutes of practice footage every single day to their media outlets. Kirby, hell will freeze over before Kirby Smart does something like that at the University of Georgia. So that's just the way he runs his program, and that's his right to do that. I understand that, fans want more and more. Fans want more access. They want, a little bit more electric press conferences. But to be honest with you, I think you want a national title more, and your head coach believes that controlling the narrative helps him get to that national title. So if that's what he believes, I'm okay with that. It's his program. Let's let him run it how he wants to. Make sense?
I got you.
Appreciate you, 706. We will talk to you soon, my brother. We got anybody else lined up there, Ditko? All right, let's move on to our last segment. We got a short one tonight. That's okay. I'll be honest with you. I was telling Ditko before the show today. I love doing this job. It's not a job for me. It's more of a hobby. It's more of a passion. Today wasn't really my day, man. I didn't have a lot of juice coming in tonight, but drank a couple cups of coffee and came in here and did the work. So the show notes weren't extremely long. They weren't extremely extensive. But yeah, today was kind of a down day for me. But But it's all good. We're here, we're working, and I'm proud and happy to be here with you guys tonight. Don't even know how many viewers we got tonight because I can't see it, but I would imagine we're doing fairly well, and I appreciate you guys for being here. And we'll take the time now to ask you to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you're over there on Twitch, subscribe to us on Twitch. We'll be over there playing some NCAA here in just a short minute. But speaking of the NCAA, I got a fiery one for you, man, and I'm tired of it. It's a hot button issue for me. It's a hot button issue for everybody pretty much in college football right now. And it's my problem with the NCAA extending the recruiting dead period. It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me. And we're going to tear it to shreds right now. Okay. And I always save these for last because you guys know, like I started the show telling you, anytime I get on here and I bring you talks about the NCAA, just stop what you're doing, grab your bucket of popcorn, because it's fitting to get, it's must-see TV in my opinion. It's the best thing I do when I come after. Because I'm going to tell you what, having been an unpaid employee of the NCAA, I despise them. I haven't liked a single decision the NCAA has made since I was 17 years old. Not a single one. And this decision, these groups of decisions, these series of decisions, when it comes to their recruiting processes and their ability to host or take visits, these kids take visits, might be one of my biggest pet peeves. Besides the free year of eligibility, which we've already covered, and I've thrown absolute hellfire on that one. But I got a major problem with this, and let's get right into it. Let's get this 100% straight, okay? We can play football. We can play every single Division I sport in the NCAA right now. Everybody's playing. Women's volleyball is playing. I'm pretty sure they're back in the pool swimming, okay? So every sport in the NCAA can play, and they're out there playing right now. Hell, we can even have fans at the NCAA basketball tournament. March Madness? Yeah. I mean, it's only like 20%. It ain't max capacity, but yeah, we'll charge a couple $100 for you to come watch your football or your basketball team play in the NCAA tournament. Absolutely. We'll take your money. But no. We can't have young men and women visit the campuses that they may ultimately spend 4 or 5 years at in their college career. The biggest decision in a young individual's life, a young athlete's life, is where they will choose to play their college football, college baseball, college lacrosse, whatever. It's the biggest decision in their young lives, and they're making it blind right now. But yet, we can come out and play every game. It's safe enough to play every game. COVID doesn't affect football. Football can be played, but you can't go to campus. You can't talk to coaches. Coaches can't see you. Of course not. It's too dangerous. We can't risk spreading the virus. Okay? Well, what's the difference between the two, Brooks? What's the difference between the two, viewer? What's the difference between Georgia playing Cincinnati in the Peach Bowl with 15,000 people in the stands and Jimmy going up to Athens and taking a visit around their facilities with mom and dad? What's the difference? I'll tell you the difference. One makes money for the NCAA and their respective programs, and the other does not. That's it. It's that simple. One is a revenue source. The other is not. It gets no more complicated than that with the NCAA. It never has. It's always been dollars and cents with that 4-letter word or that 4-letter whatever, organization, whatever they are. It's always been about money. Always will be. For the rest of eternity, as long as that organization exists, it will be about money. Period. Point blank. That's the only difference. Okay? Let's be 100% honest. Georgia's entire football team can travel up to Missouri to play a game in the middle of this pandemic that's freaking everybody out and not allowing kids on campus. But somehow, that's less dangerous than Johnny and his mama going up to Georgia and walking around the facilities with a recruiting analyst, a recruiting assistant. Make it make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Sure, you can tell me that at least the football teams are, there's systems in place, they're being tested regularly, they're having their symptoms checked, all that. Well, guess what? They're getting nose swabbed every single day at all of these campuses. Okay? You think Shorter and Kennesaw State are playing this weekend. You think they're testing every single one of their football players every week at Shorter? I can tell you right now they are not. I can tell you right now they are not. You know why? Because they can't afford it. Shorter can't afford to test every single one of their players, but it's safe enough by God for them to play. They're nose swabbing these guys every single day. I can get a 10-minute nose swab at my CVS clinic and get my test results back. Is it 100% positive? Is it 100% accurate? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, okay? But you can do that. You can swab Jimmy and Johnny's mama and Jimmy and Johnny before they walk into the facility. And if they test positive, guess what? Hey, come back in a couple of weeks. Go do your quarantine. And guess what? We just told somebody that's infected with the virus that they're infected with the virus. We just protected them, if anything. We didn't expose them. We protected them. If anything, it makes absolutely no sense. It's plain and simple, guys. Limit the number of players on campus every single week. Make programs report to the NCAA who came to their campus that week, who they interacted with, and contract trace it. Just like they're doing everything else. Contract trace it. Nose swab them. Get the 10-minute test results. Take every precautionary measure that you possibly can to make sure things go safe. Limit the interactions. Don't allow players to interact with recruits. It's simple. It really is. But somehow, it's too dangerous. It's too much of a super spreader event. It's not allowed to happen. We can't have 5-star recruits coming onto campus and interacting and helping, taking in additional resources to take information, to gather information, to make a very, very important decision for themselves. By God, we can't have that. Can't have that at all. You've got a pretty bad NCAA portal problem right now. The worst in portal history. The portal came out, I believe, 2017. There are more players in the portal right now in February than there ever has been. We've eclipsed the 1,700 mark in the portal. There's 10,500 scholarships available in Division I football. 10,500, roughly. About 5% of those guys are already in the portal. The highest rate ever. And it's only going to get worse after spring practice. You go into spring practice thinking you're going to be a starter. Next thing you know, you're third on the depth chart leading spring. Of course you're transferring, bud. That's fine. Go wherever you want. Portal entries are going to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. We might go over 2,000 this year. Got a really, really bad portal problem. And you're going to take the entire 2022 class and tell them they can't go on campus? The problem's only going to get worse, guys. The problem's only going to get worse. You're compounding the issue by not allowing these kids on campus to make an informative decision. These kids are making decisions based off Zoom meetings, based off of FaceTime. What is that? What is that? And again, Georgia can fly up to Missouri and play them Tigers on ESPN, SEC Network. But Jake Pope from Buford can't go up to Georgia. Can't do it. Marquise Groves-Killebrew committed to Georgia. Can't go up there. Nope, can't do it. Michael Williams making the biggest decision of his life in a couple of weeks. Ain't been on campus in what, a year and a half? Awful. Terrible. Garbage. Dog water. Right, Dicko? Dog water is exactly what that is. All because of what? Because of what? Because recruits going on campus don't make money, but it's a bad PR hit if someone comes back and gets COVID? That's a pretty bad PR hit to watch all these kids hit the portal too, if you ask me. I'm done. I'm done ranting. We'll filibuster again if we want somebody to call in. I bet that's a pretty passionate subject for a lot of people. It's passionate for me. I don't like it. I hate it. But it is what it is, man. These kids, again, they're having to make life-altering decisions blind. That's all they're doing. They're making these decisions blind with no information other than, oh, look at my facilities on FaceTime. Look. God forbid they got bad internet down there in Macon. Can't even see nothing. It's all fuzzy. Awful. Hate it. Let's see. What else we got? We got a film study tomorrow. I don't know who we're going to do. We did defense last week, right? Kobe. Yeah, we did Nakobe last week, so we'll flip over to the offensive side of the football. We did Warren Erickson last week and Nakobe. So I think we will go a wide receiver of some sorts. We've already done Jermaine. We haven't done George. So I think we'll do George Pickens. So tune in for that one. And if you're not on Patreon, sign up now. Patreon.com/Brooks Austin. Screw the phone calls. Sorry, guys, you didn't get in fast enough. We took the one. Hey, Good caller tonight. I didn't get his name. Good caller tonight. Appreciate the conversation we had with him. And, we'll see you guys tomorrow. If you're not already, go subscribe to the Patreon and subscribe to Twitch. We're going to do some shuffling around here in the studio. We'll be live on Twitch with a game of NCAA 14. I won't play long tonight. I'm a little exhausted. Again, told you I had a down day today, but it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you for being here. We'll see you next time.